Well, it's my first target in this old Chinese encampment. It's a beautiful old buckle. It is steel, but it's rung it quite high. I think it's got a brass or alloy roller there adjacent to the pin, so that's why the high target ID. Nice. You can see George in the distance up there behind that. He's obscured by that iron bark. Look at him hunting the old Chinese camp. Anyway, I just got a nice target here. Different signal both directions. I'm not sure what it is. Look at that thing. It's a high quality metal item, bronze or brass. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like it's got a little loop attachment off the end to hang it on something. Okay, we'll study that and clean him up. Ripper. This one was a nice solid 56 on the AT Pro. Beautiful old timers brass button from the 19th century. Looks to be a little bit of gilt on that. Often they're silvered, but I won't clean that now. I'll wait till I get some water and we'll have a look at it and do some still photos. Awesome. Here's a nice old relic. It was a 5560, jumping around based on the where I swung the coil. It's an old pinfire hull, probably an Eli London. It'll be head stamped. You may be able to read it there actually. Nice. That's definitely an old round. Right, just over here up from that pinfire bullet, I've got a lovely 5556, and my favourite find in these old historic sites. Chinese cash coin. Look at that. 400 years old. It's in great nick too. That's the mint side. Got a little hole in it. I'm not sure if that's been around someone's neck or if it's other than the square hole. Which is damaged, a little bit bent. I didn't do that. Beautiful stuff. Awesome. Cast brass. Ripper. Alright, I'm doing this little woody weeded area, which I think would have been heavily overgrown the last few years. Not so now. 5 paces from that last cash coin. Got a rip roaring 60. And we've got another one. Another cash coin. That's beautiful. That looks to be silvered. Oh, there might be just be some fungus growing on it or something. Once again, cast brass. I think it's a half cash. Here, a little ripper. 2 Chinese coins. A metre from that last cash coin, I got a rip roaring 80. Very shallow. Well, let's check it. I don't think it's iron. It's such a solid signal. No, definitely not iron. I've got the iron audio on there. It's going to be a nice find. I wonder what it can be. Nice high tone. It won't be a cash coin because it's much higher tone. They don't go up in the 80s. That cast brass is usually in the 60s. The half cashes are in the 50s. But you're not going to walk past an 80. Okay. I didn't see that coming out. You might have done. Very shallow rocky ground, as you can see. The target's not far down. Where's she gone? Okay. And it's a bottle top. Not a very old one, unfortunately. George has just signalled he's got a find over here. We've been about 50 metres apart. Probably been here half an hour. We've made some good finds already. What do we got, George? Next to the old ironbark tree.
Yeah, there's a Chinese coin here. I just flicked it out.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that. It's a, looks like a full cash, eh?
Yeah, it looks like a...
Cast brass. Beauty. What a ripper.
Like a King Z, maybe?
Yeah, okay. So that's like 1620s or 1640s.
Yeah, like that, yeah.
There's the mint side and there's the inscription side with the emperor.
Yep.
Nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Right, I've just brought that find over to show George, and he tells me he's quite aware of what it is. So what is it, George?
It's a Chinese key for a Chinese lock.
Okay.
So you can clean it up later and you'll see that that hinges out.
Yes.
And the 2 keys there could have been for a smaller lock or a larger lock.
Okay. It's kind of like an Allen key sort of arrangement. Oh, righto. Great stuff. Right. There's George's next coin. It's another cash coin. That's a beauty, that one. Beautiful patina on it. That's in really good condition, that one. Quite thin. We're getting very low target IDs on these coins. That one's got a beautiful patina. It's in awesome condition. I can see it there. Just about read it now. Here's my next find. It's another steel item. It's a buckle, but it's quite ornate. Pin in place. That was only a shallow surface find just under the grass. See my shallow scrape there. Target's still buried. 60-61. So that could be a 1 cash larger one cache? Oh, it is, look. Just come out of the ground there. Awesome stuff. That's just fantastic. I love the history of these old Chinese relics and these old Chinese camps. Real gold rush stuff. Fantastic. That's another cache coin. Unless it is a half cache, it might be a bit smaller, I'm not sure. They're all, there can be different shapes and sizes and thicknesses, so you get different target IDs on the machines, no matter what machine you're using, because they're not consistently struck, they're cast. Anyway, nice one. This is a very jumpy, iffy signal. As you can see, it's about 5/8 of a cast brass cache coin. Quite common for them to crack across the hole like that. So it was only in the high 40s. I've got my iron on 40, so we'll dig everything from 40 upwards, hence we'll get these coins like this. Another piece of Chinese history in the Australian goldfields. Looks like I just got the remainder of that other coin. I think that will fit together. It looks like the other 3/8. This target was a 62, very consistent, repeatable. By the look of the artefact, it was partly sunbaking because it looks a bit sunburnt. It's another beautiful old cache coin. It's got a rock stuck in the square there, in the square hole. Yeah, so that looks a bit larger than the others. But what I'll do when I clean up all these finds, I'll line them all up so we can compare the sizes and the emperors and the dates and that sort of thing, so we'll get a really good look at these coins. Really wonderful piece of history for Australia, because they're the oldest coins you will detect generally in Australia. Well, I nearly didn't dig this one. It must have been sitting at a funny angle in the rocky soil. 56 and then down to nothing, jumps either way, and it's another coin. Which looks like, yeah, that might have been in the sun too, eh? That's the mint side. I just got this tiny, tiny Chinese coin. This must be half or a quarter cash. It is just tiny. I'll compare that to the others in the stills and you'll see the scale of that. But that's a very small coin. As you can see, it's quite roughly made too. The square isn't square in the centre. It's off centre. That'll be interesting to get a year off that one, a date or an emperor's reign anyway.
Signal sort of sounds a bit more like rubbish.
Yeah.
But because it's that high amongst the rubbish.
Yep. You're cherry picking the high signal in there, sort of thing. Yeah, I can hit. Yeah.
I can't afford not to take that one.
No. You can see the way George sort of worked up that signal from, like he said, he's got iron there, but in amongst the iron, it's masking a potential good target. Yeah, you see there's some glass and ceramic around here. This camp was obviously used for... Oh, there, look at that. He's got a little... Beautiful. That's a bit of red hot detecting there, George.
Just goes to show to dig those two-way targets.
Yeah, exactly. And that's only a low conductive target because it's a small coin, and yet there was rubbish around it, and you picked that out of the... That's well done. That's a ripper of a find.
I surprised myself.
Yeah. We've actually found quite a few different sizes of those coins in here today. Yeah. Righto, so George and I have now driven into the Palmer River Resources Reserve. This is a heritage listed area, state heritage. No metal detectors here, so they're all staying in the car. Some wonderful old Victorian steam archaeology here. This is the Queen of the North mine. And you can see the 3 big boilers and the massive flywheel. The shaft's just behind this plant you can see in front of us. How did these old blokes, well, they were young blokes back then, in the 1870s, get all this gear up here by bullock dray? Incredible. And it's a rugged journey on the old coach road from Laura, and that's the way it would have come over through the conglomerates from Cooktown. By ship to Cooktown, bullock dray over the ranges. No little surprise that the bullockies and the packers made most of the money in this country, not the miners, because the cartage costs were just astronomical. And as you can see, we're a pretty rugged country here, but the water table was often an issue in a lot of these mines, so they had to pump these mines. I'll have to research the Queen of the North, but I'll check on that for you. But wonderful old bit of Victorian Steam archaeology, preserved in the bush. Fantastic. So here's one of the shafts from Queen of the North. As you can see, she's goes a long way down. Very neatly dug too. Obviously you're not going to dig too much more mullock than you need to get to the reef. But there's little mullock heaps everywhere and little shafts all over the place, so got to tread carefully here. Okay, we're still in the historical reserve. This is the Louisa mine plant. You can see the stamper battery complete with the stamper boxes all still in place. The steam power plant that ran the stampers. And all these gullies around here, I can see they've been worked and turned over and turned over. And lots of quartz went through here, and lots of gold came out of it, no doubt. Beautiful old bit of Victorian archaeology in the bush. Here's the maker's detail on the steam plant. Hornsby and Sons Limited, Grantham, England. Well, we're heading up this way to Cradle Creek, so we've got a real gnarly pinch here, so I've selected low range diff lock here. Well, all that four-wheel driving George and I have just done has led us to this beautiful little spot in a remote corner of the Palmer off Cradle Creek. This is the Wild Irish Girl mine. It's all heritage listed, so no metal detecting going on here. Let's go up and have a look at the old Wild Irish Girl, which was last worked by Sam Elliott, who passed away in 1986, I believe. And he's actually buried in the Maytown Cemetery. We'll have a look at that later. But you couldn't wish for a more picturesque little spot. This rich little mine, tucked up against the escarpment there of the conglomerates. Now only the kookaburras and residents. Yeah, but this is all heritage listed by the Queensland government as significant to the state's heritage, as it should be. There's a little fence around it to stop the cattle getting there and wrecking it. Let's have a look. Some stamper heads just lying here in the grass. There she is, the Wild Irish Girl. Let's go in and have a look. So here's the, this is the shack at the pit head. As George just pointed out, Sam Elliott's saddle and his saddlebag is still hanging there. Been there for what? Nearly over 30 years anyway. Got the steam boiler out the back in a machinery shed. And 3 heads of stamp there by the look of it. This is so beautifully preserved. Yeah, that Sam's shovel still leaning up against the fence there. And his rake. So beautifully preserved simply because it is so remote. I mean, it's a tough low range 4-wheel drive trip in here. We took a couple of hours to get in here this morning. Fantastic. See this kind of history just left. No one's pilfering it, no one's taking things. Wonderful. On the boiler.
The gauge has been vandalised.
I
have a good photo.
Plenty of bottles. Look, it's just, isn't it wonderful how no one's touching this stuff?
Yeah.
His wash
That's
basin.
his workshop here. That was the old safe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The old safe with the drawers out of the safe. The hob iron. It's like a time capsule in here, George.
Sure is.
Incredible. This is amazing. It's just worth the coming to see this. It's just incredible. Most of these places are long gone. And
have a look at the.
okay, here's the shaft.
That's the water well.
Oh, that's the well. Where's the actual? Oh, it's up the gully.
I can take you there. That's where he used to draw the water.
Yeah.
To run the mill, and you can see a water pipe made out of wood.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. He's got the wooden water race with a water pipe. Yeah. A little visitor's book here in the Wild Irish Girl. We're going to sign it, George and I. Looks like it suffered a bit in the rain. Oh no, that's good.
Let's find the last entry.
See who was last here.
I'm getting close to it.
August 6th, 16. It's over a month ago since someone was here.
That's definitely the last entry.
Yep. So the last visit to this site was 2 months ago, August. Here's the little cooking gear still hanging here. Little fireplace, not a bad little digs actually. Righto, George and I have just 4-wheel drive right up to the conglomerate ranges here in the very remote Palmer region. We're just setting up camp for the night. George is just deploying his little sun awning there, so we're going to have a nice cool spot up here on the ridge line. A few storms on the horizon, so it's keeping the temperature down, which is nice. So yeah, we'll get our camp set up. Right, I've had a couple of drinks. We're all set up here at Lone Star Pass. There's my swag. George has got his cot swag set up. Bit of a shower of rain coming across, but that won't bother us, just cool things down. So awesome. We're going to go for a bit of a walk in a minute and up into the conglomerates here and see what we can discover up in there. George's got a few spots he's going to show us.